She raised her glass and smiled at me like I was the luckiest man alive. 6 years of marriage. 6 years of love. 6 years of applause. And 3 months of sleeping with my brother. Everyone in that room thought I was the quiet husband who'd swallow anything. They were right. Until I didn't. If you've ever felt invisible in your own marriage, if you've ever stayed quiet just to keep the peace, if you've ever been underestimated by the one person who promised to stand beside you, hit like, subscribe, and buckle in, because this isn't just a story about betrayal. It's about the moment silence turns into power. The banquet hall looked like something out of a wedding magazine. White tablecloths stretched tight over long tables. Candles flickered in crystal holders. Roses sat perfectly arranged at every centerpiece, petals so red they almost looked artificial. Laura's parents spared no expense. They never did. A champagne tower shimmered near the dance floor, bubbling softly like it was proud to be there. People laughed, hugged, took photos. They believed they were celebrating a love story. 6 years of marriage. 6 years of us. I stood near the back of the room with a beer in my hand, condensation dripping onto my fingers. No one noticed I wasn't smiling. They were too busy watching her. Laura moved through the room like she owned it. She always did. She had a gift, or maybe it was a weapon, for charm. She'd touch someone's arm when she laughed, tilt her head just slightly when she listened, smile wide enough to convince anyone she meant every word. To them, she was warm, attentive, devoted. To me, she was an actress who had rehearsed this role for years. And I had played my part too. The quiet husband, the easygoing one, the man who never contradicted her in public, the one who didn't mind. I used to think staying quiet made me mature. Now I realize it made me convenient. Her father, Richard, tapped his fork against his champagne glass. Clink, clink. The room softened into silence. "All right, everyone," he said proudly. A few words. Applause filled the air. Laura glanced at me, just a flick of her eyes, checking, making sure I was in position, behaving. Then she stepped forward. Her mother, Susan, already dabbing at her eyes with a napkin before Laura, even spoke. It was performance art at this point. "I just want to thank all of you for being here," Laura began, her voice smooth and affectionate. 6 years of marriage to this incredible man. She gestured toward me. Heads turned. Smiles followed. I felt like a prop. I couldn't be happier. People clapped. A couple near the front raised their glasses toward me. I didn't lift mine. My face felt stiff. Like if I tried to smile, it would crack. She kept going, talking about partnership, growth, trust. Trust, that word landed in my chest like a cold stone. Trust. 3 months earlier, I'd stood in our kitchen holding her unlocked phone, staring at a message she forgot to delete. "You were amazing last night." From my brother, followed by a heart. That was the moment something inside me stopped arguing with itself. Before that, I had doubts. Late nights at work. Her sudden showers when she got home. Her phone always face down. Her irritation when I asked simple questions. I told myself I was insecure. I told myself I was overthinking. Because that's what she told me. "You're paranoid. You're imagining things. Why are you trying to start problems?" So I stayed quiet. Until I couldn't. Back in the banquet hall, Laura was finishing her speech. "Marriage is built on honesty," she said, smiling. Something inside me went very still. Not angry. Not loud. Just cold. I set my beer down. The glass made a soft thud against the table. I stepped forward. Chairs shifted. A few people leaned in, expecting something sweet. Laura's eyes widened just slightly. She looked pleased. She thought I was finally stepping into the spotlight to praise her, to complete the illusion. I reached her, gently took the microphone from her hand. The room held its breath. You could hear the faint hiss of the champagne fountain behind us. 6 years of marriage, I said slowly. Let it hang there. Laura's smile tightened. And 3 months of you sleeping with my brother. Silence didn't deepen. It collapsed. Somewhere near the front, glass shattered. Richard's champagne flute hit the floor. Susan made a broken sound and grabbed the table. Laura went pale. Not confused. Exposed. What are you doing? She hissed under her breath, reaching for the mic. I pulled it back just enough. 3 months that I know of, I continued calmly. Maybe longer. Whispers spread like a wave through the room. Faces turned from her to me, trying to process. You're sick, she snapped louder now. This is some kind of breakdown. I looked at her, really looked at her, and felt nothing but clarity. Is it? I asked. Should I mention the motel off Clearwater Road? Or the messages you forgot to delete? Her nails dug into my arm. Stop. Right now. You wanted everyone here, I said evenly. You wanted a celebration. Her sister Megan pushed through the crowd. She'd always been quieter, observant. She looked at Laura, then at me. Is it true? She asked softly. Laura's face crumpled. It's complicated. Complicated. That word. Complicated. I repeated. That's one way to describe sleeping with your husband's brother. Megan didn't look surprised. She looked tired. I'm sorry, she said quietly to me. And in that moment, something shifted, because silence can be louder than applause. Laura tried to laugh. A sharp, brittle sound. This is insane, she said. You're embarrassing yourself. I didn't respond. I didn't need to. The truth was already doing the work. Her father finally found his voice. Laura, he said slowly, is this true? She opened her mouth, closed it. This isn't the time or place, she said. We could talk at home. No, I said. Firm. Calm. You've had plenty of time to talk. She leaned toward me. You think this makes you strong? She muttered. You think people will respect you? I think people deserve the truth. She recoiled. Megan stepped slightly between us. Answer him, she told her sister. For a split second, I almost felt sorry for Laura. Almost. Then I remember the nights I sat alone while she worked late. The way she rolled her eyes when I asked for affection. The way she dismissed my feelings as dramatic. I didn't plan this, she finally said. It just happened. A murmur rippled through the room. Megan exhaled slowly. Things don't just happen for months. Laura shot her a furious look. Stay out of this. I can't, Megan replied. Not anymore. That was when I realized something important. Laura wasn't just losing her image. She was losing control. And without control, she had nothing. I handed the microphone back. Not because I was done, because I didn't need it anymore. The truth was louder than any speech. I'm leaving, I said to the room. Not to her. To anyone who wants to keep pretending, stay. I'm done celebrating a lie. No one stopped me. As I turned, Megan touched my arm. Wait, you shouldn't be alone. Laura noticed immediately. You're taking a side? She snapped. Megan didn't look at her. I'm choosing honesty. Laura's composure shattered. You're both unbelievable. I walked toward the exit. Laura called my name. Once. Twice. More desperate each time. The doors closed mid-sentence. And just like that, 6 years ended with the soft click of a latch. The parking lot was quiet. Cool air hit my face. For the first time in months, I could breathe deeply. Megan jingled her keys. I'll drive. We didn't speak much at first. Just the hum of the engine. The shrinking glow of the banquet hall in the rearview mirror. You okay? She asked eventually. I feel lighter, I admitted. She nodded. I've watched her do this to you for years. I turned to her. You knew. I didn't know everything, but I knew she treated you like an accessory. That word hurt, because it was true. At a diner under neon lights, I told her everything. The phone, the motel, the months of pretending I didn't know. You're not crazy, she said. Those 4 words hit harder than anything else that night. Because for months, I questioned my sanity. Gaslighting is subtle. It makes you doubt your own memory, your instincts, your worth. Later that night at her apartment, my phone buzzed endlessly. Panic, damage control, excuses. I didn't answer. For once, I wasn't reacting. I was deciding. The next morning, clarity replaced adrenaline. I'm filing for divorce, I said over coffee. Megan didn't flinch. I know someone. By noon, the paperwork was in motion. Signing those pages felt like removing a weight I didn't realize I'd been carrying for years. When we returned to the house to gather my things, it felt like a museum exhibit. Proof of a life that looked stable from the outside. Laura screeched into the driveway halfway through. Hair messy, eyes wild. You can't do this, she said. We need to talk. I'm doing this, I replied. She grabbed my arm. Please. I made a mistake. No, I said quietly. You made choices. That difference matters. My brother called later. Excuses. Anger. Guilt. You're not sorry you did it. I told him. You're sorry it cost you. Then I hung up. And that was the end of him too. The divorce was quick. Documented infidelity doesn't leave much room for negotiation. The last time I saw Laura was in a conference room. She looked smaller. Armor gone. I lost everything, she said. I looked at her. No anger. No triumph. Just distance. You didn't lose it, I said. You spent it. And I walked away. No dramatic music. No shouting. Just consequences. Applied cleanly. Life didn't become perfect. It became honest. Mornings without dread. Conversations without manipulation. I stopped shrinking to fit someone else's ego. Months later, standing in a quiet kitchen, sunlight coming through the window, I realized something that surprised me. I didn't regret exposing her. Some endings need witnesses. Some lies need daylight. For years, I thought being quiet made me strong. But real strength wasn't silence. It was refusing to protect someone who never protected me. And that changed everything. That if this story hit close to home, if you've ever stayed quiet just to keep the peace, if you've ever been underestimated in your own marriage, smash that like button. Subscribe for more real husband-wife debates and emotional stories. And tell me in the comments, was I right to expose her that way? Or should some truths stay private? I read every single response. And I'll see you in the next story.